Hello, 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 everyone. So as you have probably seen, this is going to be your January 2021 at a glance. So this will be pile number 1, this will be pile number 2, and this will be pile number 3. Let me know how you guys like this. I'm thinking about kind of doing these readings in the style that I do for myself, but I just want to know if this is like cool enough for you guys or if this is something that you would prefer. I think for February I'll probably do it in my own, like how I would read for myself style. So alrighty, I hope you guys enjoy. So again, this is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Just wanted to make sure I did that. Hello, pile number 1. So this is going to be your guys' reading. So I'll have to be honest, this is definitely a lot of karmic relationship sort of energy, karmic energy. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. So we have the Knight of Wands in reverse, the Five of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Cups in reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. That's a lot of reversed energy, interestingly enough. I think literally all of your tarot cards are in reverse. But I think there's a reason for this. I don't know if you guys are in a relationship or in an entanglement coming into January, or if you're going to be coming into one. Either way, I would say it should be avoided. Rather focus on loving yourself. What loves you back. What this card is kind of talking about is only put in the energy for love if you are sure that it's going to love you back sort of energy, especially if you already know the dynamic is kind of toxic. See, this plant has a little heart and it's connected to itself. It's loving itself. And then we have this card that talks about self-worth. I cast off all concerns about what people think of me. I know I'm a totally kick-ass person, and my kick-assness can never be diminished by rejection. So people can think what they think and feel what they feel. In the meantime, I'll just keep on knowing that I know without thinking about what they are thinking about what I know, what I already know, I think. Oh my gosh, that put me in twists. But you get the point. It's this idea that you're already a powerful, badass bitch. You're a hottie toddy with a whole lot of brains and body. I don't need to see you to know it. The point is, you're coming into this negative energy because people don't play fair. The Five of Wands can talk about coming out of an aggressive situation, just like the fighting ending. In this case, I think it's talking about competition becoming negative, toxic. Especially with this Knight of Wands energy here. To me, this is talking about fighting within relationships or fighting within this energy of something that's supposed to be helpful for you. Because in nature, most things that are beautiful are poisonous or toxic. It's a way of letting the world know what they are. So maybe you really, really like this person. Maybe you think this person is the best for you, but look at your life. Are they draining you financially? Are they codependent? Do they get upset if you try to do stuff by yourself? Are they someone who wants to lower how you feel about yourself? If you can answer yes to any of those questions, perhaps this is something that you should move on from. This is something that maybe was meant to teach you lessons about yourself and about the world, but not something for you to carry on into this new year, hopefully. But yeah, so that's the energy that we have for pile number 1. Hello, 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 pile number 2. So this is going to be your guys' reading. I'm just kind of looking at it, taking it in. So we have the Six of Swords upright. Looks a lot scarier than you would think it is. Six of Swords is not a bad card, I can promise you. The Queen of Cups upright. The Hanged One upright. Justice in reverse, which I think is probably the scariest card here, to be honest. Then we have Vigilance and Yield to Reality. I'm going to start with your Love Affirmation card because I think it's kind of beautiful. My best self. I trust that when I'm doing what's best for me and being the happiest version of myself, the right sorts of relationships will appear in my life. That means I can let go of all my worries about the future, knowing that my only job is to be happy in this moment, while simultaneously attaining a cosmic level of enlightened awareness and total psychological self-actualization. I think it is relevant to say that we should also be focusing on the future happiness as well, because sometimes immediate happiness and future happiness are not congruent with each other. I definitely think that's very, 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 very important. But moving on from that, with the Six of Swords upright and this Yield of Reality together, what this is kind of telling me is that you have finally accepted a situation is not for you, and I live for that, to be honest, because it's giving you this energy of your best self. You're no longer keeping yourself hanged to some person who's not, you know, they're not willing to give you justice. The situation is not going to give you justice. And you finally opened your third eye or whatever. Or whatever. Goodness gracious. Can't with myself sometimes. But you finally allowed yourself the privilege of seeing the situation for what it is, and you're leaving. The Six of Swords talks about leaving a situation that's not for you, leaving a situation that's not healthy for you. And as a result, we have this Queen of Cups energy, which I think represents you, which is this emotionally fulfilled feminine energy, this emotionally fulfilled person who's happy and thriving, you know, someone who's working towards being their best self at all times and all ways. And I think that's definitely worthy of acknowledgement and definitely worthy of, you know, celebration. That's a celebratory act to be able to see yourself as a person who's worthy of the time and commitment that you are worthy of, and yielding to reality, yielding to the warning signs, seeing a red flag and realizing that maybe not, ugh, my goodness, I'm getting myself tongue-tied. Maybe not all things are meant for us to experience, and sometimes we're better for the lack of experience. You know, not all karmic relationships, not all karmic situations are something that we have to allow ourselves to experience. Sometimes it's better just to like sail on by. Sometimes when you see a fire, it doesn't mean you should try to put it out. Sometimes it just means to let it go out by itself, just to move on. Allow yourself the freedom of not hanging yourself on situations that aren't meant for you, aren't for you. The divine knowledge that we get from karmic situations is not always something that we need to experience. You know, sometimes trauma is just trauma and it's not worth it. And I think that's a lesson that you guys are learning in January. And I kind of love that for you. Leaving behind what does not serve is something that is important, I think, for all people. Really, it's a tool that some of us neglect and it could manifest itself negatively. And I'm happy that that seems to be something that you guys are avoiding. So happiness for you, pile number 2. All right, pile number 3. There's a lot going on here, so let's start with it. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse, the Ten of Cups in reverse, the Queen of Swords upright, and the Page, oopsie daisies, and the Page of Cups in reverse. Along with this, we have the Maze upright and come back to earth, and then we have your romance affirmation, tact. I speak and act with care, remembering that impulsive words or harsh tone can sometimes hurt others. It feels like I'm walking on eggshells. I'll remind myself that those eggshells might actually be a shop full of china and I might actually be a bowl. Then I'll remind myself to stop mixing metaphors. So I think January of 2021 is going to be an interesting time for you guys. The Page of Cups in reverse can talk about our emotional energies kind of coming out of control. Whereas the whereas like the other court cards for cups kind of talk, when they're in reverse, kind of talk about someone who's using emotional energy negatively, purposefully. Like the Knight of Cups generally talks about an emotionally manipulative masculine. The Page of Cups in reverse more so focuses on someone who gets lost in the murk. You know what I'm saying? They're unable to contain their emotional energy and not so much affecting other people detrimentally. Like the detriment isn't always, how do I want to word it? The emotional energy that's leaking is more likely to hurt the person who's leaking it, but other people can be caught in the crossfire, I guess. It's the best way I can think to put it. Especially as we have this Ten of Cups energy reverse. So the Ten of Cups energy in reverse generally has 2 different meanings. The first meaning being, you know, domesticity or romance has become a source of trauma for you in that moment. And the other meaning being that you have all of these cups being offered to you, but you don't see them as full of anything worthy. Um, I'm leaning towards you've been fighting with people either romantically or domestically, because we have the Queen of Swords upright, and that generally talks about someone who's kind of above it all or is trying to be above it all. And because you've been dealing with all of this negative minutia, you've kind of thrown yourself into your emotional world, into your imaginative world, into your creative world at the detriment of the real one. So retreating into yourself to be able to then come out to the world and be who you need to be, and then retreating back into yourself has kind of allowed you to reach the stratosphere unknowingly. It's time to come back to earth, and hopefully you won't burn on re-entry. And it's going to be a little taxing for you. We have the maze. We have feeling lost in this energy. My advice would be, whatever this negatively charged emotional energy is for you, to try to leave it if you can. Whoever this Knight of Cups is, whoever this person who's perhaps emotionally manipulative, who's coming into your life with false promises, with false love, let them go elsewhere. You can't blame a Scorpion for its sting, but you can try to avoid it. You know what I'm saying? Tact is going to be important for you. Be careful of the words that you speak. Make sure that they are words that are, stimulated by the outside world rather than your preconceptions of it, which is probably a difficult, that's a difficult mar to swim in. But your best bet is to try to be as acutely aware of the world around you within healthy terms, within being healthy, in a healthy way, I should say. Because I'm seeing that you may have some missteps if you're not tactful. This is a very emotionally charged situation, and you're going to have to be very, very careful with your words. And it seems to be something that you're interested in. It seems to be something that you're capable of with this Queen of Swords upright and this tact card upright. I'm just worried that the emotional pressures are going to come to you. I think your best option is to ground, come back to earth, grounding. And by doing that, you'll have, hopefully, on the ground, a map that will lead you out of this maze and get you into a situation that is better for you and more conducive to your health, rather than whatever toxic drama is going on in your life. It's very interesting. I think pile number 2 is the most positive pile, technically speaking, but it seems like January is going to be rough for people. I'm kind of interested to see what, things happen in that time period that's going to make everything so spicy, I guess. So I hope this reading was helpful for you, and thank you so much for your time and energy. Bye.